Unbound is snoring. Unbound is snoring. Dar's over there snoring. I got everything dialed in. Say, Johnny. We'll give her, tell her happy birthday, and you have a great night, pal. You have a great night. There's Zach. Hey, Zach. I just hung up from Zach. Anybody else up around Athens area or Brockville area lose power? I guess we had a really bad windstorm today, and a bunch of people lost power today. And Zach's sitting out in his pickup truck right now because his phone was about to die, and he had to go out and charge his phone. Like I said, it was about to die. So I was just talking with Zach, and we were discussing. Let me show you what we were discussing. Just so Zach has an idea, actually. So, Zach came to me and he says, I need a little help. He's still a new owner operator. He's been doing it just under a year. Went out and bought himself a beautiful International LT, 18 speed, big Cummins in it, gorgeous truck. But he was just having a little trouble. Hey, December, he was having a little trouble running the numbers. Flam Potato, love that name. Never heard that one. You must be new. If you're not new, then welcome. Sorry, I never noticed you before. Anyway, let me do this story, the quick story about Zach, because this is actually important, and this is good for Zach. It's good on Zach. What I'm saying, he's new. And what Zach did is when he realized that he might be having a bit of an issue, does Zach know how to drive a truck? Yeah, he can drive the fucking wheels off a truck. That's not an issue. Can Zach pick up freight and drive and do that? Sure. He can do that, no problem. What Zach started having an issue with was the actual business side of the trucking. There's the trucking business, and then there's the business of trucking. And I just explained this to Zach. Trucking business is what we do. We go from here, pick up this, deliver it there, get the bill of lading signed, go over here, drop that off, pick this, blah, blah, blah. That's the trucking business. The business of trucking is all of this. And this is Zach, okay? So this is what we started with. That's page 1. These are all the numbers and equations that I'm doing for Zach. So it was 2 pages of numbers and fuel equations and fuel costs and fuel rates, averages. And that's because Zach didn't know how to do this stuff. And it's no fault of Zach's. And we're going to teach Zach. Zach is going to learn. As a new owner operator, it's a shame that this kind of stuff isn't taught at an earlier phase. I think myself personally, I think every company, if you're working for a company, whether it be Challenger, Titanium, ET, KBD, ABC, I don't care. If you're a company driver and you turn to the ownership and go, you know, I'd like to become an owner operator. I'm thinking of going to buy a truck. The first thing the ownership should do is say, you know what? Here's a course. I recommend that you take this course. Or they should offer some kind of assistance to help these guys make that transition from from company driver to owner operator. At least give them a heads up of, okay, here's a platform, or here's a way of doing it, or this is how we do it. They should do. My mouth ain't working. You know what? I haven't had enough chocolate yet. But there should be something. Whether it be, you know, some schnook like me starting a weekend course where guys, like that, eh? Where guys and girls learn this stuff, or whether it be from the company, or whether it be from the trucking schools. You know, you're telling me that the trucking schools wouldn't mind tacking on another couple $100 to your course and adding another couple of days and go, you know what? Hey, we're going to show you how. We're going to break this down so that when you leave here, yeah, you can drive the truck, but now you can manage the truck. So anyway, that was interesting. That's why if any of you were sitting around going, okay, he's going live, but he's not there. What was I doing? Well, I was on the phone with Zach. Thanks, Zach. Actually, I want to say thanks to Zach, too. I appreciate you putting your trust in me. I know I'm not always easy to get hold of. And I don't always return phone calls on a timely manner. And that, Darlene's like, But, you know what? I do eventually return phone calls. But I appreciate the faith you put in me and coming to ask me for help. It kind of makes a guy feel good, you know? Anyway. Look at that. I made Dar jump. That's awesome. Okay, so let's get some hellos. Steve, great you're here. Love your comments all day long today. Trucker for life, chocolate. Nikki, how are you doing? Maybe my new business venture. You know what? That's not a bad idea. We've thought about doing something like that. We would have to present. Put something together and make a presentation to some of the larger trucking companies, or maybe even work with a couple of the trucking schools, sort of like as a secondary course add-on. We've looked at this. It's something that we've looked at. It's not a dead end possibility. It's something we might actually do. I would have to make sure that there's obviously an interest for it. And I know, actually, that's not true because I know there's an interest for it. I already know that because people are asking all the time.
I'm just being a goofball.
Say, Mikey, how you doing, brother?
Oh my God.
Ricardo, glad you're in. Big Dog, glad you're here. Big Dog's got a good point. Unfortunately, truckers... companies don't want truckers to think from my experience. You're right. Trucking companies don't. And I had an episode with a trucking company yesterday where I know some things and they don't want you to know some things. And when you argue with them about it and they know that you know, things can get ugly. So Zach, how do you know who to vote for in the next election? Pros and cons. Is there a new party leaders? Wow. We had this talk today. Actually, we were going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. What is it? The New Blue.
You want someone that's for the people.
Yeah. The New Blue Party. Now, I'm only saying this, and I've been kind of just going, oh yeah, the new blue. Now, over the last day here, Savannah, you're right. Over the last day here, you see Steve, eh? Steve's fucking hell-bent to get Piper elected. He wants her elected. New Blue, let me see here. I hate doing this. I really freaking do, man.
When you're done asking, wants you to explain exactly what Bill 100 is.
Who wants to know that?
Jay Flatla or whatever.
All right, Jay Flatcha. Okay. What is Bill 100? Bill 100 is a long ass bill, but I'm going to give you the really short version of it. Because of what happened with the truckers and what we did in Ottawa when we all drove our trucks down there and we parked our trucks and we protested and we pissed off the Prime Minister. The provincial government, the Conservatives, put forward Bill 100. And what this bill is, it is giving the government or the authorities the ability to arrest you without charging you for protesting. Ontario government, just to clarify, did I not say that?
Well, no, you didn't.
I did. so the cops can, if here, and here's an example. You and I are going to go down and we're going to protest something. I've got my sign, my hockey stick on my sign, and I've got my stuff, and you've got yours, and we drive our car and we go down and we set ourselves up to do our protest. The police can now come in. They can now take you off the street, take your hockey stick, take your personal possessions. They can take your car. They can take the license plates off your car. They can take you, put you in jail. They do not have to charge you on the spot. They can do all of this, put you in jail, and then come up with the charge later. The bill itself is very, very broad of what it covers. It's a huge blanket that they can throw out and use at their discretion to do whatever they want, to shut up whoever they want, whenever they want. Somebody wrote, it's unconstitutional, and you're right. It is totally unconstitutional. My feeling on this is kind of funny because I don't mean to insult anybody here, but I want to see what happens when the LGBT or any of them decide to have a protest. I want to see if any of them get thrown in jail, considering the liberals love them. And let's face it, this is a provincial thing in the Conservatives, but Dougie Ford's gone liberal. He has. Doug Ford has gone liberal, and he's running a liberal I don't know, what do you want to call it? Offside. No, they have to. It has to be a protest. If the LGBT or any of them have a parade, that's one thing. You and I and the truckers, we can probably go have a trucker parade.
Right now they're having like a slow roll in Niagara. They can do that.
All right, yeah. In Niagara, that's right. In Niagara tonight, they're doing a slow roll, and then they're doing the what are they doing tomorrow? The Niagara North American Unity Tour. Yeah, and that's being done by the Freedom Fighters of Canada. That'll be tomorrow, and I'll be very curious. I'll be very, very curious to see how that goes tomorrow. I want to see, because this will probably be the first time that a protest or something has been done, and this new act is going to be used. If it's going to be used, if they deem that these people have done something wrong or something like that. So I'll be very curious. I'll be watching that. I really will. I wish I was there, but unfortunately I'm not. So basically, a short form is Bill 100. What is it? They call it the Keeping Ontario Open for Business Act. That's what it's called.
I don't even know why. It makes no sense.
It makes no fucking sense to me, but they're Keeping Us Open for Business Act.
That's a bunch of bullshit, so nobody goes and protests the bill. That's why.
Yeah. They don't want anybody protesting the bill. And not only would they want nobody, how sneaky was it that they did this? How they did this? Okay, I said in a video this afternoon, how funny is this? This bill was brought out, was presented March 21st. Sorry, I don't know why I'm waving this around. Was brought out or presented March 21st. It passed on the 14th of April. 3 weeks, guys. Have you ever seen a bill or anything pass in any government house forum in 3 weeks? Dude, you can't get license plates for a fucking truck in 3 weeks. But they got this passed in 3 weeks. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And how did he do it? He did it during I call it like a midnight ramble, right? That's what I call it. He put it through, what was that, Wednesday night, right, Dar? Did it Wednesday night, because we heard about it yesterday morning being Thursday morning. So they put it through Wednesday night, did an overnight session and put it through. It did. You know what? I made a comment earlier, and it was actually wrong. I said one of the reasons they did it is because they didn't want to get a third reading on it because they knew that too much pushback would come back. But there was a third reading on it.
Yeah, right on.
Right. So guys, if any of you caught that, I apologize. That was my brain going faster than my mouth, and my mouth going faster than my brain, whatever. But I did make that mistake. We did go back afterwards and find out that there was a third reading on it, but it still got freaking passed. But he had to do it in the middle of the night when all the MPs were sleeping. The MPs, MPPs, I guarantee you there was people that were not informed about this. It was just, okay, open the doors. You come in, you come in, you come in. We're going to vote. All those, yeah, put up your hand. The people that are putting their hands up, I guarantee you there was somebody standing behind them with a gun going, put your goddamn hand up. Put your hand up. Not high enough. Get it up there. I guarantee you. Guarantee you. So that was pretty sneaky the way they did that. Keeping Ontario Open for Business Act. Wow. You're up from your nap, are you? Still a little phased? How much damage did you do yourself today?
Snowing up there.
It's snowing up there. So what? It's snowing.
Nothing to do except sleep and drink.
So yeah. All right. So I'm just gonna back up here because there's a whole bunch of you are coming in here. December, good. There's another one, December Gem. Thank you so much for your comments all day today. It's great talking back and forth with you. I love your comments.
Jacob's here too.
Jacob is in here somewhere. Clothes on the floor. Yo, what's up, Brian? Yo, Jacob, how we doing, brother? Yeah, Clifton's saying they're doing the same thing in the States. They're passing them in the middle of the night. Yeah, Donald, isn't that true, eh? They can get shit done when they focus on it. Too bad they can't. Yeah, if they took that kind of energy and directed it at helping people, help the vets, help the homeless, help the whatever, help. If they took that energy there and directed it towards helping people, holy Christ, man. Do you know what kind of shape we'd be in? We'd be in great shape. We'd be in absolutely awesome shape. But yet, no. Clothes on the floor. Pretty good. Had a shitty fever. Uh-oh. You're not into something, are you?
A fever?
Yeah.
Wasn't you just at the thing last
No, I'm not saying nothing. Yeah, Mikey Campbell's got a really good point there. On the federal level, there's nothing that Trudeau can't get pushed through now. What'd you call that there, Mike? The NJS party, the new Jagmeet Singh party. That is so true. Because between the NDP and the Liberals now, they have enough votes, they can pretty much do whatever they want. If they want to paint the Parliament buildings pink, they can vote that through and get it done. Yeah. I like what Random said. Within days of the Ukraine war, Trudeau gave them billions for death, but can't forgive student loans or give money for education. So true. So true. And I was talking with another guy, and they're watching the Ontario government, and so are the federal government. They're actually watching the Canadian population. They're watching and keeping track of all the Canadians that are leaving Canada and moving out of Canada and leaving the country. They're keeping track of this. And from what I understand, they don't give a shit. If 100,000 of us sold it all, effed off, and moved to Guatemala, the Canadian government doesn't care. And I'll tell you why. They can import more people faster than we can leave. They will bring more refugees in, set them up, get them working, and then they've got tax dollars. I didn't need to know that. I was in the middle of saying something there, uncomfortable. We needed to know you're sitting on the shitter. What an asshole. Dar, could you talk to him or something?
I
Like,
like him too much.
Dar loves him. But that's what they're doing. If we all said F you and left, it wouldn't make a difference. Trudeau he'd send boats over across the seas to get them, pick them up, and bring them here. What do you say here? Should look after Canada first before helping other countries. Well, Steve, they should. I want to leave, Sylvana, I want to leave Canada too. I can't see myself doing it. It's my home. But I don't know how much more, I'm trying to see where this is going. I'm trying to see the long, like the end game here. What's down? I don't care about this week, next month. What's down the road? What's the end game here? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to pick up bits and pieces of information from people that know this shit down the road. What's going on? Because do I want to leave this country? No, I don't want to leave this country. This is my country. Will I leave this country? I'd like to sit here and say, no, I won't leave this country. But, in the back of my head, I'm sitting there going, I might. If it keeps going like this, what is here? What's left for me? Okay, we can all sit here and go, and you guys out there can all go to me and go, well, Brian, we get together and we got to fight and we're going to take back our rights and we got to. Okay, in order to do that, you're going to need millions for legal bills, for legal. You're going to need you're going to need barrels of money just for legal bills. Any of you's got a couple $1 billion laying around? We can hook that up with the legal, and then we can go after Trudeau. We can go after all of this. But until something like that happens, no. Trudeau right now has the power. With the Singh party helping him, they can do pretty much whatever they want. And for they're here for the next 3 years. Dude, I want no fucking part of this. I want absolutely no part of this. This is the worst time in our country's history right now. What we're living, you and I are living, I think, and don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying like obviously World War I and World War II. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, 12 state trucker has got a good point.
Sorry. Somebody actually said something here. 12th state trucker. You might be right, buddy. You might be right. I have a lot of things to consider, and so do all of us. None of you are any different than me. We've all got, wives. My kids are grown up, so I don't have to worry about that. But we've got wives, we've got mortgages, we got houses, we got property, we got dogs. I can't just pack up my shit, sell everything, grab my wife by the hair, and drag her caveman style down to wherever I want to go. Although as much as she would like that. As if. You'd like that. I'm looking a few years down the road. I might just take off out of here. New Mexico wants to pass a bill that will take Canadian refugees. Sylvana, I appreciate that, and I do like the sound of that. The problem is how much farther behind Canada is the United States with your mandates and the laws and the way things get changed. Government is government. Democracy is democracy. If it's happening here in our country, It's going to happen there. How much, you guys it may not be happening in broad daylight like our government is, but how much longer before it is happening down there? That's the question. Would I love to live in New Mexico? Hell yeah. I'd love to live in New Mexico. Actually, I'd like to live in New Mexico, Montana, or Arizona. Do I want to go knowing that I'm only going to have a reprieve of maybe a couple of years before the same shit that's going on here is happening down there? I don't think so. If you moved, it would have to be to a country with free or at least cheap health care. Good luck with that. Where the hell you think you're going? I think the only countries around with cheap or free health care are what? Sweden, Switzerland, Finland, not Mexico, not Cuba.
Cuba has free healthcare.
Not for us, it doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
We can move down there. As Canadians, we can actually move down there. But you do not get free health care. Not in Cuba, you don't. We looked at actually buying or doing something down there. And of course we were told you don't buy anything. You don't owe anything. Jay Flatcha. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's very kind. Nicaragua. I'd go to Nicaragua. I would have no problem going to Panama, Nicaragua, Honduras, any of those places down there. Guatemala, Mexico. My kids are in Mexico. I got no problem going down there.
Thanks to JFI.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I did. Alberta is so-called free health care? I don't think so. Uruguay. I'd go there. Guys, I got no problem going to a third world country or what we consider a third world country. None whatsoever. I'm comfortable. I tell you what. You shag your ass over to Russia, sit it out for a couple of years and send me a postcard and let me know how well you're doing. Hold on, who wrote that? Who wrote that? Yeah. Singapore is awesome. I'm not going to Afghanistan. Tahara, I'm not going to Afghanistan. Come on.
Patty's on, babe.
Patty is on. Where's Patty?
Katarina.
There she is. I know who she is. Remember me. No, we don't remember you. Haven't seen you in what, 3 weeks? 3 weeks she hasn't been around? Sorry, Patty. Can't, don't remember you. No.
Stacy's on too.
Who?
Stacy Werner.
Oh, fucking. They're going by so fast.
I know.
They're going to you're going. Dar's telling me, oh, this person's on. Say hi to this. Say hi to that. It's like, Patty, I shaved the beard off. That night. The night I was supposed to braid it, I said F it and shaved it off. It's a long story why. Cliff thought about going to Mexico. Cliff, I thought about going to Mexico. I would. I would actually. I was talking with my daughter Catherine yesterday. Wednesday, and she actually FaceTimed me, and she's sitting there on a beach, or actually at a, what do you call those? Airbnb.
Yeah,
she's at an Airbnb, and she's sitting there on a beach with Wi-Fi, with a drink in her hand, and her laptop, and her computer, and she's living better than we are in Mexico.
But now she's going to Guatemala.
And now she's going down to, today she's going down to Guatemala.
Yeah, for 1 week.
For a week down in Guatemala. She's going down, she's going to meet my oldest daughter down in Guatemala, and they're going to go hang out down there for a week.
No, she's not. She's by herself there.
No, she's meeting Ash down there.
That's what she told me. She has a place by herself for a week.
Whatever. Are you going to argue with me over everything I say?
I'm just
Are you going to argue with me over everything that I say? Jeez. Now she's look at us. Here she goes. Do you see these?
The girls are going to Columbia together. That's where they're going.
Great. I'm just gonna let you fuckers all just go off here. Keep going. I'm just gonna sit here and you guys are done laughing. We can carry this on. Stace, how you doing? You done?
Mm-hmm.
You sure? Okay. Seppi, you want to take care of that thing behind you, though?
What's behind me?
The cat. Well, look at your cat.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I just took Dara's computer from her. Like, she's like, I don't give a shit. I got another one right here. Do you make so much money that you got, what do you got, a computer in every room? Look at that. She's like, give me that phone, buddy, or you'll be sleeping with one eye open. Or give me that computer, or you'll be sleeping with one eye open tonight.
Oh, no one's seeing me tonight, sorry.
Yeah.
If he divorces you, Dar, maybe we can get together.
Profane, I tell you what. You take over the maintenance, the payments, and all the shit, you can have her. No, I'm just kidding. I can't trade her in. Okay. I'm tired, Steve. I understand that. I'm tired of where Canada's gone in the last 3 years. I'm very disappointed of where Canada has gone in the last 3 years. I'm tired. I'm not just tired of it. I'm kind of worried because we just can't keep this pace. If Ukrainians are fighting for their country, why can't we do the same? It's a different world over there. A total different world. I understand, guys. I understand fighting for your rights and fighting for your country. I'm not going to pick up arms at this point because of Trudeau or Singh. Okay, we're not picking up guns. We're not picking up, and we're not doing a revolution that way. If we are going to do something like this, it has to be done from the inside. It has to be done with voices. It has to be done with brains. It has to be done with smarts, and it has to be done with some level of diplomacy. Big dog. Thanks, brother. That's awesome. We cannot we can't just sit there and go like they do and have overthrow our government, show up on the parliament buildings with guns and riots and torches and dude, we can't do that's not who we are. Now, I'm gonna get crucified for saying this. And I said it to Dar earlier today, and she will fact check this, but how long will it be before we are at that point? Before we are at the point where somebody goes, okay, it's time. This is not enough. It is now time to amp it up, take it to the next level, and violence, although I'm not a big man for violence, I'm not a big advocate of it. I can be violent and I can protect myself and I can protect whatever if I have to. But I'm not a big advocate of violence. But how much longer before we get to that point? Anybody know? What is the here? What is the snapping level? That's what we'll call it. What is the snapping level? What is the level that we are going to be pushed, that the government is going to push us, and then we snap? And once we snap, that's it. We snap. There's no going back. Brian, you need to try Retro Pepsi. Not a chance in shit. No way. You know, the snapping level has come. No, it hasn't. Patty, it hasn't. The snapping level is not come and gone yet. We're not even close to it. Okay, there are still things that can be done. They're not being done, but there are still things that can be done. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer to this. Well, Patty, I've snapped too. I've probably snapped 5 times in the last week. But I have not yet decided to go pick up a firearm or a torch or a weapon and go pound down somebody's door to make my point or get my point across. Or to let them know that I'm not happy with the way this country or province is being run. I'm not there yet. But how far are we before that? Patty thinks somebody should bear arms. Oh, here. There, ready? I just bared arms for you.
Oh, someone from Napanee.
Dakirli Dak. I hope I said that right. Hello from Napanee. You could probably stand on your roof and see my place. All we can do is our research, and in 2025, vote, vote, vote. Only 76% of Canada vote. That needs to change. Mikey, I guarantee you, come the next vote, come the next federal election, it'll be a whole lot more than 76%. The Roman Empire didn't fall from peaceful protest. We're not being... Okay. No, the Roman Empire didn't fall from peaceful protest. But we're not... This is a different day and age. This is a different time. We have other ways of doing things. And we don't have a government yet threatening us with violence and guns. And yeah, they're threatening us with stupid bills and could possibly put us in jail. And this might be the beginning of it. But, you know, we don't have cops or army walking up and down the goddamn street right now telling us what we can and cannot do. We can't go outside. That was the Roman Empire. This is not even close to that. So, I'm being honest with you. I'm not comfortable talking about, bringing out guns and talking about taking out our government or starting a fucking. It's not where I want to be, and I'll be honest with you. It's not something I'm ready to do. You come knocking on my door and try to get in my house, I'll fucking kill you. That's you touch one of my children or mess around with my kids or my wife, I'll bury you. They'll need dental records to identify you. But for this kind of shit, I'm not willing to pick up one of my firearms and go to town on the Parliament buildings. It's not going to happen. Okay? It's not going to happen. Oh, by the way, yeah, as we're sitting here talking about blowing people up and killing people, happy Easter, everybody. Happy Easter. Everybody, I hope you're having a great Easter and a great holiday. Will you kill to protect your family? Of course I will. That's it. Look at me. That's a silly question. Will I kill somebody to protect my family? Yes, absolutely. I'll kill anybody to protect my family.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. Knock this shit off, because I'm not ranting. You don't bring a gun to a chemical fight. Well, right now we're not having a chemical fight. We're still at the knife fight. And you don't bring a gun to a knife fight. You bring another knife. It's usually the other way around. I got fucked up because I brought a knife to a gunfight, but... Oh, God. Patty, we're not discussing this. The government's not trying to kill my family.
mandates will end the federal? Hoping soon.
Any bets on when the mandates? We should actually, random, that's a good one. We should actually start a pool. A mandate pool as to when the federal mandates will end. I would say, what are we in? April? I'd say by the end of May.
Yeah, me too.
But then you know what? I thought it would have been done by now. Tell you the honest truth, I thought it would be done by now. I need those fucking mandates to end soon. I can't keep going at the rate I'm going. I'm running a business and I'm running a truck and I'm running across Canada and I'm not making jack for money. I really am not. I just can't afford this. I need to be able to get back into the States. The U.S. Patty, the U.S. will. I bet you, I'll be willing to bet you that the U.S. lifts their federal mandates before the Canadians do. Was it nice not having another? Yes, it was actually really nice to have my truck back to myself. I loved it. It was great. Sleeping, quiet. When somebody's sleeping in a bunk above you, every time they roll over, the truck moves, right? So every time they roll or move, it'll be like, and nothing but, you know, the farting and the snoring and the, you know, nah, I kind of like my truck the way it is. I like trucking by myself. What's Zach saying here? This needs to be won with cyber knowledge and electronically, as with the next, in all the next while, everything will be soon be digital. Yeah, he's not wrong. The digital world is.
Which brings us to Elon Musk, and what do we think about his wanting to buy Twitter?
Yeah. Clifton. No. Clifton. Biden just reinstated the vaccination mandates for federal workers for the U.S. and the Supreme Court stood behind him. I think that's just for the federal workers, right? What was that for? Like the courthouses and that kind of thing. I don't think he did it. I don't think he's going to keep them in place, for example, for us as the people that have to cross back and forth the border. And we're talking about being real here. Our countries have one or two options and no difference between us. Enough for 10 boosters, but still. Yeah, I know Mark, Stacy, I know Mark is out on the road. He called me today. I picked up the phone. I said, hey, I'm making a video. I'll call you back in 20 minutes. I forgot to call him back. I'll call him tomorrow. He's enjoying himself out there. I mean, he's miserable. He's absolutely miserable out there. He told me yesterday how much he misses you and the dog, and he can't wait for you guys to get back in the truck, and he's not having every mile he goes by, he's pining for you. It's like Trudeau wants everyone to be broke so they have more control over us. Well, dude, you don't know how close to reality you might just be. You know, you really don't. What's that, Dar? What was that called?
I don't know.
They've got something. They got something coming down the pipe. I'm a total scatterbrain today. I've got so much on my head right now. Did we hear about Pat King yesterday? Yeah, I think what they do, they tacked on a couple more charges.
Yeah.
What, two? Two more charges, Dar was saying today. I think what they're going to do is they're trying to make this new world, I don't know, like a new world order where everybody is broke or everybody has the same income, a guaranteed income. There's no classes. There's no rich, middle, and poor. Everybody is the same. And the government dictates how much money, where you live, how much money, what your job is, how much money you get from it. It's all going to be, and that's what they want. They want all of us on the same level down here so they have 100% control over us. And that is coming. That's one of the, thank you, Steve, it's the Great Reset. And that's what they're trying to do with us here. If you don't see the long game here of all of the little things, if the little thing here, a little thing there, a little thing there, if they tried to do this all at once, we'd all rise up and go, F that, it's not going to happen. But if they nickel and dime us, so they do a little thing here, a little thing there, a little thing here, enough little things will eventually add up to what they want, and they'll get it. It's just going to take them longer to do it, but they will do it. And that's going to be the end game here. Hopefully, it won't be in my lifetime. Hopefully, I'll be long dead and gone when this happens. But it is going to happen, or they're going to try to get it to happen, and it won't be good. It'll be along the same lines where they'll be putting a shot in your arm with like some kind of chip, or a chip in the back of your head, and like, holy shit, I don't know. Does that kind of shit scare you people? Does that scare you? It scares the crap out of me. I really want no part of that. Cliff, you're right. It's not going to affect us. It's probably not going to affect me. It's going to affect our kids. The problem is, our kids don't know any better. You guys and me, we know what normal used to be. We know how we grew up, and we knew what no, I should say what normal is. Our kids, this is going to be normal. This is going to be normal. So how do you tell them what normal should be when they think that this is normal? So it's not going to be a difficult deal for them. They're going to just openly accept, okay, we're going to put a chip in our head. Why? Because it's easier. It'll make life easier. Oh, I don't have to do this. I have a chip in my head. All of the shit that we have to do now, they're going to go, oh, life's a whole lot easier. Let's put a chip in my head. Let's have a device that has all of my information on it. I don't ever have to carry a wallet. Let's do this. I don't agree with it, but our kids are going to be the ones that are going to be living it. What am I drinking? I'm drinking blackberry bubbly. It's very tasty. We are an expiring newcomer to the new world. I have not watched Black Mirror on Netflix. I probably will. I don't bring knives. I don't know. Bring guns. Isn't it all fun? Let's not let that happen. Let's go on. Parents must teach their kids to be critical thinkers. Parents must teach their kids. Dar just had a very good point. I would like to think that Darlene and I raised our kids to be critical thinkers, to be free thinkers. Use common sense and think for yourself. Do not follow the pack. You don't have to lead the pack, but don't follow the pack. Unfortunately, our education system, our school has pounded that out of them now. Everybody's a winner. Everybody gets a trophy. There's no such thing as first place. Everybody's equal. Sorry, folks, in the world of life, not everybody's equal. I hate to tell you that, and I'm not saying this because I'm sure most of you will agree with me. What do? The next generation doesn't have a chance here. And Patty, you're right. Parents must be teachers too. Right. But unfortunately, the teachers and the education system have your kids more hours in a day than you do. Who's going to win that argument? They can pound more in the 8 hours that those kids are at school than you can in the 4 between the time they get home and they go to bed that night. Normal lives matter. Desiree Jervis. I like that. That's good. That's really good. Time for more homeschooling. I agree with that. Jacob is homeschooled. Well, we know a couple other people that are homeschooled. Nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah, that's true too, Cliff. I used to say it used to take a village to raise a kid because everybody thought, you know how close to reality that should be. I wish it was like that. Unfortunately, it's not. See you, Stace. Happy Easter. Now it takes a kid to raise a village. No. Now it takes a kid to pick out the village idiot. That's. Hey, Looney Left, how we doing? I don't know, Looney Right, how you doing? Yeah, I'm glad Karen. I'm glad I taught my kids to be vocal and stand up for what they believe in. Dar and I have. I'd like to think that we've done the same thing. Our kids are very vocal, and they will stand up for themselves. But more importantly, they will stand up for somebody else that won't stand up for themselves, and that's not always been taught. That hasn't always been taught by Dar and I. Our kids have just got that, and that's I find that very respectable. Have you watched the documentary, Watch the Watery on Rumble? It's a must-see, eye-opener, last try.
Mm-hmm. You should watch it.
I haven't watched that. Okay, I'll watch that. Okay. 8 hours of school in Canada is a little crazy. In Australia, we only do 6 hours. Do they do 6 here? Well, they go in at 8.
Depends. If they go in at 8, they're usually done at 2. If they go in at 9, they're done at 3.
Okay, so
And they have lunch.
okay, my fault. My apologies. Yeah, they only go in 6 hours to school here. It doesn't matter. The school still has them longer. They might be in school for 6 hours, but they're out of the house for 8, right? There's the crazy boy, Callie. How we doing, Callie?
Uncle Roy.
What do you know about history? You know about Canadian history to write. I do too. I do about the U.S. history, world history. That would be, holy shit, man. Small fringe. Unreal. What's going on? Well, where the hell have you been? You should have been here an hour ago. Mr. B, so if you can't protest anymore and you can't shoot your way out of this, you can tell me what's left. By the way, I'm not into the shooting our way out of this. You know what? Mr. B, we don't know what's left. We don't know yet, or I don't know. I hope you people aren't relying on me to come up with fucking answers for any of this. You know? I really hope you're not. I don't have an answer. I don't know what the next step is here. I keep thinking and I keep hoping that we can do this politically and we can do this, peacefully, and we can do. But every day, every morning, I wake up and something else comes across, my computer or something like that. And it's like, I shake my head and go, what now? What's next? Oh, this is next. And then I wake up and it's like Bill 100. Oh, that's next. Like tomorrow, what's next? What are we going to wake up tomorrow? What is Trudeau or Ford or Singh? What are these assholes going to do next? Really? I don't have a clue. Don't have a clue. And I'm almost afraid to see. There was a supposed assassination attempt on Trump. Well, I can tell you right now, obviously they didn't get him, or none of you would be sitting here listening or talking to me. You'd all be watching CNN or Fox. good will prevail. I'd like to think that good will prevail. You know, I really would. You know what? Trump doesn't have a whole lot to do with anything in Canada. I can't say because I'm not an American or whether I think he was a good president or a bad president. Or I know that he did quite a few things that were good, only because he wasn't a politician and they couldn't get him to be a politician, and he refused to be a politician. He did try to run the country as a business. And a lot of what he did worked. I think if more people would look at the country more as a business instead of an opportunity to fucking rip us off or to get power and control, we'd probably be better off. Who's that? I have no idea who to vote for in June. New Blue, Decurly, New Blue. Go check them out. I've said this before. I hate to say this, but I've said this before. When it comes to politicians and when you pick political parties, you don't pick the one you like the most. You go through them and you do as much investigating as you can and you check out them out to the best you can. And you got to remember, guys, you're never going to get the truth, the full truth, and nothing but the truth about these people. So you make the best educated guess you can, and you don't pick the one you like the most. You pick the one you dislike the least. You pick the one that you think is going to do the least amount of damage, and that's who you put in power. And that's a shameful way to have to run our government or to look at our country. We have to put somebody in a position of power to lead us. Who is it? Well, we're going to find the fucker that does the least amount of damage, and that's who it's going to be. That's sad. That really is sad. I hate to even say that. What's the guy's name? The New Blue guy? Today. Eh?
I forget his name.
Oh, Jim Karahalios. Jim Karahalios. Jim Karahalios. Let's say it. Just say that. Jim Karahalios. He is the leader of the New Blue Party. We all have to pay attention to the puppets. We have to start looking at the puppeteers. I don't think that's Tara. That's not even funny. It is, but not really. No. Whatever happened to the old school thoughts? Zach, you know what? I agree with you. Whatever happened to the old school thoughts? You know what I'd like to do right now? I'd love to be able to sit down with one of my grandfathers and ask their advice. What would you do? I'd love to hear what one of them would tell me. What is the advice that either one of my grandfathers, both of them were very, very wise and humble men. Neither one of them had more than a grade 5 education, but both of them were smarter than anybody I knew. And I'd love to sit down with them right now and ask them, like, dude, what would you do with what's going on? Look around this world and what should we do? I would love to know that. What? How do you spell what? Whose last name?
I think he means Jim.
Jim? Oh, hold on. I've got it right here. You got it?
Yeah, I'll just spell it out.
Karahelios.
A-L.
What? Karahelios. Uh-oh.
What?
I'm just pissing people off.
Oh.
The old timers wouldn't have put up with it. No, you're probably right. They would be ready to bear arm and get over. Well, they'd probably be a lot quicker to pick up and bare arms than we would, but that's only because most of them had already gone to war. World War I or World War II. Yeah. The strange reality is that the day of PM will wonder why there won't be certain things around anymore that he used to have as a boy growing up. I don't think the PM gives a shit, Zach. I don't care. I think he's part of the New World Order, or at least he's part of the WEF, and he plans to be on that mountain when that comes down. And that's, I don't think he gives a rat's ass. 12 state trucker, I've got something that will blow all y'all minds with what's next, what the next 20 years will be. Okay. Over half of you way behind here. Don't worry, Brian, our weapon is climate change. I'm a big advocate for climate change, but you know what? That's the least of our worries right at this moment, right now. Trudeau is pushing the WEF agenda very hard. Very, very hard. And why do you think? Like I said earlier, look around, folks. All these little things that are going on around us are setting us up for a reset. It's going to happen. Half of our doctors sold out in this pandemic. Ted, I hate to tell you this, it's more than half. Half is 50%. I would comfortably say that I'd say about 80% of our doctors sold out. They sold out of fear, and I'll give you an example. Because I'm vax injured, I tried to get exempted so I could go back to work and whatnot like that. And I've had specialists, my family doctor, a specialist, another doctor at the hospital. I have gone all of the routes through all three of these doctors to try to get exempted, to try to get them to say that, yes, this vaccine is the reason that you are in the shape you are in, and not one of them would do it. And one of them, two of them would not tell me why, but one of them on the sly basically said, if she was to do this and openly come out and say, yes, Mr. Brown is in this position because he took this shot, she would be mopping the floors of the hospital that she works at by next week. They'll lose their jobs. They'll lose their funding. Do you know how many billions of dollars Pfizer gives to hospitals and to governments? We're not talking about millions, or hundreds of thousands or millions. We're talking billions of freaking dollars that Pfizer gives, Johnson & Johnson gives, all of these pharmaceutical companies, the billions of dollars that they throw around. Why? Because everything around them is bought and paid for, so they can do pretty much whatever the fuck they want. And they just did it with this vaccine. That is why. They sold out for money, Donald, you're right. They sold out for money, but they also sold out because they were afraid. They would lose their jobs. They would. And a few doctors did lose their jobs. The ones that did speak up and say, we can prove that this vaccine is causing these symptoms and these problems within the general population, and we can prove it, those doctors are unemployed. And not only did they lose their job at whatever hospital that they were working at, they'll never get a job anywhere in Canada ever again. Are we Canadian? Right now, I don't know what the hell we are, dude. I don't know what we are. Steve, everything is about money. Yeah. Money or lack thereof it. I got a call from Shoppers to come get my 4th shot. I kindly told them I'm not taking any more shots. It's funny, I got a call from Shoppers Drug Mart today. The pharmacist wanted to update my file, asked me a bunch of personal questions about medications that I've been taking and everything like that, and then asked me why I'm taking these medications. And when I told him why, He then asked me, after I told him that I took the first shot and I ended up with blood clots in my lungs, he then asked me when I'd like to book my next shot. I'd like to book the next shot to get my second shot. I told him, I literally said to him, are you out of your effing mind? I will not be getting a second shot. My doctors have advised me not to. My wife has said I absolutely cannot. We're not getting the second shot. And he just sat there and went, oh, well, you know, you can't cross the border and you can't get on a plane. Well, do I look like I'm going to take a second shot and die? Or am I going to get on an airplane? Do I really give a shit about getting on an airplane? No. I really don't give a rat's ass about getting on an airplane. It's funny, though, the pharmacist. This was the pharmacist, the Shoppers Drug Mart in Napanee. Okay? This very kind gentleman just decided to phone me and update his file. And in doing so, telling me that, you know, I need to get my second shot. After I told him that after the first shot almost killed me. If I didn't know better, I was going to call him a retard, but that would have been too kind. Doctors are part of the problems. I am living proof that they're trying to kill us. Well, they didn't kill me, but they came close. They took a swing at it. Right? They took a swing at it. I will not be following, and I will not be playing the game. I don't know. I'll be checking out long before this. I will check out. I just made that decision right now. I just made that decision. I will check out. I will give this country and this government, and I will give this, you know, a few more years. But based on what I'm seeing down, you know, looking down that tunnel, there's no light down there. I got myocarditis now, enlarged heart. That's what I need. That's what I need. I needed to have that. You need to have myocarditis, and there was another one. There's only two.
Allergic reaction.
The allergic reaction. There's only two. Myocarditis, the enlargement of the heart, and the allergic reaction are the only two ways that you can get a medical exemption, and I didn't have either of them. Now, they could say, I have a very strong case, they could say, well, yes, you ended up with blood clots in your lungs and in your legs. I would say that's a pretty big reaction, but they won't. They won't. How do you prove it was an allergic reaction? How the hell do you prove that? Myocarditis, that's something you can prove because they can do a scan and they can see that. But how do you prove that you're having a chemical reaction or an allergic reaction? You can't. You know? Yeah. It's funny that if they would have just left this alone in the beginning, we could have lived with this. Yes, unfortunately, there would have been some people dying, but I guarantee you the numbers of people that died from COVID are nowhere near as high as what the numbers that were reported. Did it clue into anybody that all of a sudden COVID hit, all these people are dying of COVID and the flu went away? Nobody got the flu for fucking 2 years. And all these other problems and illnesses, all of a sudden they mysteriously all vanished as well, and everybody was just dying of COVID. Money, people. Money. That's what that was all about. Instead of democracy, this has become a dictatorship. Yeah, Dar's right. Seasonal allergies seem to have disappeared. I wonder why that is. Yeah. We could have, and this is just my opinion, we could have lived through this. We would have suffered through it. There would have been some ups and some downs. There would have been some problems. But if they'd have just left this alone, we didn't need shots. We don't need chemicals. This is one of those times where we didn't need this. Let nature run its course here. We'd have been fine. We'd have been fine. More people die of fucking car accidents in a day than die of COVID. Come on. And do you see the COVID now? In some places now, you can get COVID and after 2 or 3 days you can go back to work? What? What, is COVID getting shorter? Come on, people. Yeah, we're not allowed to have the I've had 0 colds in 20 years. It seems then it's bad. So it's just strange colds. Tap water has COVID in it. Well, good for me. I live in the country and I'm on a well. If they're pumping COVID into my well water, well, I got COVID too then. Tahara, let's all go live in the jungle. That's what I've been saying. Let's go. Come on. Look at China. They're not winning any hearts and minds. No. You want to live like that, though? You want to live like the Chinese? I don't. We have been fleeced. Yeah. Who are you with?
She got dye on the carpets.
She what?
Got color on my carpet.
Oh, well. Actually, Patty's got a good point there. It won't be long before they're tearing down the jungles too. Why? Well, they gotta build another Pfizer factory. Only reason I got 2 jabs was so I was allowed to see my mother in the assisted living facility. You know what, Random? I can respect that. You're not alone. There's a lot of people that have obviously elderly parents that are not well, and that was the only way that they could go and actively take care of them. I don't have the shots, but I know Dar's got both of her shots, and she did it for similar reasons because she has a friend, a very dear friend that's terminal, and she wanted to be able to spend the last few days or the last part of her life with her. So I can certainly respect that and understand that. I think that if I would have taken the first shot and had no issues with it, I think I probably would have taken the second shot as well, just for those reasons. Absolutely, I got no problem with that.
Yeah, not because we're terrified of COVID. Though.
Not because I'm not taking fucking shots because I'm terrified of COVID. Believe me. There's a 1,000 other things out there scarier to me than COVID. Amazon medicinal tropical forest is being clear cut out like BC forests. I wouldn't doubt that. 6,433 deaths in China. 1.4 billion people not using the same secret sauce. We ruin everything by destroying the earth. Well, you know what? I can't argue with that. Every time I turn around, I look at something and go, my God, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I go back 3 weeks later, it's gone. How the fuck do you fix that? How do you do anything with that, eh? Look at China. They are locking people in their homes and starve to death. I don't know.
No, they are.
Are they? I didn't hear that one yet.
Yeah, I haven't shown you yet.
Yeah? When did that happen?
Recently, and they're like, it's like, you should see it, it's awful.
Yeah. All I know is everybody here, I'll support you and I'll help you in any way I can. All of my brothers and sisters, just don't shoot my ass in the back, please. Don't shoot me in the ass. Don't shoot me in the back. Just don't shoot me. I'll do anything if you need help, I'll do anything I can to help you. Just don't fucking shoot me. And if you do shoot me, don't just ding me. Like, you better put me down. Who's that, Cliff? China trying to lock down 27 million people last week?
Hi, Piper. You coming to say hi? Oh, bro, she's
Pipey coming in? Come here, Pipe. Come on. Where do you think you're going? Nope, she got no part of that. She's gonna go drink some water. Here's Pipey. Say hi, Pipe. No, she's like, get lost. She knows the camera's on her. That is a smart dog. She knew that the camera was on her. She wanted no part of it. From what I'm trying to, you guys are throwing comments up here so fast, and there's so many of you having conversations amongst yourselves. I'm actually trying to follow along with you guys. Like, you guys take over the channel for a while. I'll just sit here and type comments in too. But it's really interesting about what's going on in China. I wish I'd have known more about this. 27 people locked down in China.
You need to be me.
Eh?
You need to be me. Stop playing your video games and start researching.
Jump in when you feel like it. Thanks, Ted. Appreciate that. That's awesome. What? 27 million people. That's a blink in China. That's nothing, actually. You're right. Profane troth. Holy hurricanes, Batman. All of Shanghai is locked down.
It is.
And is it COVID? Like, it's
Yeah,
what?
and then
Are they having another outbreak over there?
Bags of animals just in the street, all stuck together.
Well, I don't. Favorite bubbly? I don't know. I kind of like this one, the blackberry. I got the orange. It's on standby, ready to go. And I think cherry is over there in the case. So yeah. I like the bubbly. It's the only thing I'm allowed to drink now. The provincial and federal government don't like it when I drink anything other than bubbly. It's going to explode if the government doesn't knock it off. If Andre's got a very good point. If people don't wake up here, there will be a lockup. A lockdown. That's a very good point. You like that, Jay? I was disappointed in their last album last year. I thought it was going to be really good. Something, we hadn't heard any new music in so many years. Didn't like it. Disappointed. Bruce still has the pipes and he can still sing, but nah. Wasn't crazy about it. Ted, good for you. May 6th, 2008. I am March 21st, 1993. 2008. That's good. Good for you, brother. Why are bills going up when everything else is going down? Well, they're milking us. They're setting us up and milking us. It's one of those things. If they keep slowly raising the prices of everything, we used gas a couple of weeks ago as an example. Somebody said, is the price of gas ever going to go back down again? No, it's not. It's not. What they've done is they've raised it and raised it and raised it, and then they're going to hold it here. And they're doing it with everything around us in life, okay? They're going to hold it here. And then eventually we're just going to get it. We're going to bitch about it, but eventually we're just going to get accustomed to it at this level here. And then life will be okay. And then they'll just slowly start raising it and raising it and raising it and raising it. And then it'll be here. And we'll bitch about it and whatever. But then we'll accept it and everything will be okay. They keep raising it in small enough increments that yes, it hurts us, but it's not enough to hurt us, to just hurt us enough to stop us. We get used to it, we get acclimatized to it, and then they raise it up some more. And that's they do it with gas, they do it with the price of everything around us. Hydro, they do it with, you name it. That's what they do. The prices that we saw as early back as, say, like a year ago, those prices and that cost of living back then is gone. We will not see that again. The government and the WEF, the world robots, fuck whoever, are going to make sure that never happens. We are in a new world, and this is just the way it is. It's not going to change. We are in the new world now. It's never going back. I hate to be the one to break that to you. Pamela, perfect. I love that. Just like the frog in the boiling pot of water. Absolutely. Take a frog and put him in a boiling pot of water, he'll hop right out. Put him in a cool pot of water and slowly turn the heat up, he'll boil to death. Well, we're the frogs and we're in the pot and they're turning the heat up and we're just boiling to death. Did the men in black cut the branches off your trees? No. Did they cut yours? If wages kept up with inflation, minimum wage workers would be making $27 an hour. You're right. You're right. Who was it? Is it Tucker Carlson? Somebody did one for the Canadian GDP or whatever the fuck it is, and it was I think $28 and something cents an hour would be our minimum wage if minimum wage kept up with our rate of inflation. How crazy is that? Right there. I took the chocolate bar before we started and broke it up into little pieces so I didn't have to sit here and go gnaw on it. So I've got them all in little cubes.
I sent you these popcorn.
And Dar's sending me popcorn, but I'll eat that with a little later. I feel better now. I'm comfortable. Thank you.
I wonder if he's still on the throne.
I always wondered when 2% wage increase represented $5 an hour and how it was solved. Looks like we were going to see. I've never in my life ever seen a 2% wage increase. I've never had somebody say, okay, Mr. Brown, you're getting a 2% wage increase, and it turned out to be a $5 an hour increase. That would be astronomical. That means you'd have to be making, what, a 2% wage increase on $100 an hour, that'd be $2 an hour would be your wage. So you'd have to be making, $500 an hour to get a $5 an hour and 2%. Or something like that. Sorry, I don't have my handy dandy slide rule and calculator around, but if you don't have a garden, you better get on it. Yeah, I was saying that the other day. If you can't hunt, fish, grow your own food, and dig for water, you better start. You better start. I'm telling you right now. Otherwise, you're going to be dependent upon the government or somebody along that line. You're going to be dependent on them for everything in your life. They raised our rents after COVID. Majority of Victoria, BC tenants got increases. I don't think they did that here. I don't think the rents went high here. They didn't do anything like that here. I don't know. Dar wants chickens. Anybody want to send Dar some chickens? Actually, she can't have chickens. Off-grid isn't all that cheap either. And wow, a lot of work. I'm forced to do it. Ted, I've never investigated the full lengths of going off-grid. I've checked out certain things. Like for example, if I was going to go off grid, what I would buy a piece of property, I would make sure that I had a river nearby on my property. I would make sure I'd had certain things if I was going to go off grid. But you are correct; it is not cheap. Getting set up, getting the initial setup and the getting started is not cheap at all. Employer provided masks with, I can't pronounce that, on them, proving to me that they're killing us. There's tow it in at the last minute, Debbie. There she is. Hold on. We're gonna see what Ted said. Collecting water as a water ear. What is that? Is the weak link. A city wants $700 a year for a garden.
So he like keeps the thing in water.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Off-grid pays for itself in tax savings. I don't want tax savings. If I'm going off-grid, I don't want anything to do with the government. I don't want their fucking money. I don't want their help. I don't want anything from them. I don't want their tax money.
I think that's what he's saying though. You're not paying taxes if you're living off the grid.
Well, I think, no, I actually would think what it's saying is when you're living off the grid, okay, maybe it was.
You don't want that one.
The solution is in the streets with your neighbor, but we are so isolated by design.
Mm-hmm.
Property tax is less off grid.
Yeah.
It is. It is. If you're not piping water in, sewer in, electricity in, hydro, any of that shit, if you're not piping it into your land, yeah, of course it's cheaper. I'd like about 10 acres with a river running right through the middle of it. I'd put hydroelectric in the river, so I'd have I'd have a power source running there. I'd have a couple of wind turbines, and I'd have solar. I'd have all three. I would. In the event one of them stops working or due to weather circumstances or conditions, I would always have a backup of. One of the three would always be able to work: wind, solar, or the hydroelectric out of the turbine out of the river. Manitoba Hydro will not pay you back for extra grid. No, I think what in Ontario, I think right now they still, if you're off the grid and you produce your own power, Ontario Hydro will buy it off you. But I think it's getting less and less and less now. I don't think they're paying what they used to a few years ago. Quails are the ultimate bird for survival, nice and quiet in the city. What does quails have to do with anything? Did I miss something?
Next, we're talking about chickens.
Oh. What are you throwing popcorn at me? I don't want to.
If it's any pieces I don't want, I see.
Well, you don't. Look at this. She's got these really gross little fucking kernely ones, and she's like, "Oh, here, Bri." She's hoping that I eat it, choke on it, and die, and the insurance pays off. You guys saw her try to kill me. You saw that. She just tried to kill me. I have a well, runs off solar and a generator if needed. I have septic and a river less than a mile away, and I am in the woods, just saying. Mr. Bees, I am very jealous. You have what I want. Now, is the river has to be on your property, or the government will make you take your hydroelectric generator out of the river. It has to be your property, and the river has to run, and you have to own the river on both banks, both sides of it. So that's always a trick. Problem is winter, river freezes, cloudy days with no wind. Yeah, but you bank your power, you bank your electricity. There are ways to keep a river, certain areas of a river, because even if a river freezes, it's still running underneath. And there are ways to keep that water flowing, to keep your generator going. Yeah, all you need is a waterfall and a pond. There you go. That's a good one as well. But if you've got all three, there's no reason why you should ever not have electricity. And if you're doing this right anyway, you're banking your power anyway, right? You're going to have the battery bank storages. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how long, if you lose your ability to produce, how long you get with those batteries, but it's not 5 minutes. If you are tied to the grid with solar, then you are not off the grid. Very true, Don. I don't want to be selling my power back to the grid. I want nothing to do with it. If I'm going off the grid, there's no power lines coming in on or off my property. Off the grid means I'm off. Gone. See ya. Out of here. Adios. Here's a real question. Why is a pharmaceutical company exempt from lawsuits from the very beginning of your country, that they cannot be sued under no circumstances like they are in the States? That's an awesome question. We've asked that 1,000 times. How is it that all three of them, it wasn't just one, right? It was Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, and who's the other one? Moderna. All three of them were exempt from lawsuits. They basically took this fucking milkshake, shook it up, put it in a needle and put it in our arms and said, there you go, boys and girls. But if anything happens to you, we're not responsible, and you signed off on it. How did that ever happen? If that happened in any other form of business, there'd be $1 trillion lawsuits all the way up Wall Street and all the way up through the Toronto Stock Exchange area. We would be you and me, we'd all be millionaires right now. How did that happen? Tell me, Trudeau, Biden, WEF. Tell me that they didn't all have a hand in that. Of course they did. Trudeau's got, 11 more, he's got enough chemical for 11 more vaccines for everybody in Canada. Everybody can have 11. Are you out of your freaking mind, people? And if any of you die, or if any of us die from it, nothing we can do. The government signed off on it, so now if you left to sue anyone, you sue the government, not the pharmaceutical. Look into it, as Trudeau has $75 million for vaccine injury. He's going to need more than $75 million for vaccine injury. If I sued him over what I've got right now, I'm going to get half of that. $75 million. I'm going after at least $35 million. Pain, suffering, loss of wages, having to sit here and make these YouTube things and talk to these crazy, oh shit, they're still here. All these crazy people. $35 million, $75 million, that's not enough. He needs a lot more than that. Tell you what, I'll go talk to a lawyer friend of mine and say to him, listen, I want to sue the government because I'm vax injured and I can't work. Or I can work, but I can't go back to doing the lifestyle and blah, 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 and I've lost this amount of money and a couple $100,000 on this and this on that. Blah. I'll see where this goes. I'm not paying a lawyer because I just don't have the money to pay a lawyer. I'd love to say that, I have, $30,000 just sitting in the bank and I can stroke a check for $10,000 to get a lawyer, to get the engine cranked up on a lawyer and get this going. But I don't. I would truly love to be able to do that. Yeah, Clifton, that's a really good saying, but afterwards he was talking to Merle and Willie, and he says, what these people don't know is I've been insane the whole time as well anyway. government will tell you to vax up before you get the money. Yeah, they probably would. Yeah, Mr. Brown, we'll give you $10 million. Go get your second shot. Yeah, they know I'll drop dead. Then they don't have to pay me. It would never make it to trial. You'd need millions. You're right, Profane. You're absolutely right. Being a little crazy helps. Yeah, it does help. Trust me. Trust me. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a little crazy. I'm not a little crazy. I am a little crazy.
Hi, Pootie.
We got a kitty coming up? Huh?
He wants popcorn.
Does he? He's going after Dara's popcorn.
Pootie. Go chase it. Okay.
Screw the government. I'd like to screw the government the way the fucking government screwed us. I'm not crazy. The sane man just seems crazy in a sane world. All the most interesting people at Brian. Oh my God. Uncomfortable. You can go to bed now. Go on out and stick your head in the snow. Stay with your brother here, but one day we can bring you some good, real good stuff. Oh, I'll wait for that. Get a government job. I would never get a government job. I would never take a government job. If they knocked on the door right now and said, Mr. Brown, we've got a job paying $3 million a year, give you a company car, a corporate jet, and all you have to do is fly back and forth between Toronto and Ottawa, and make sure that fuck that.
No, I don't know.
I would never take a government job. I wouldn't take a single taxpayer's dollar. No way. The only way I would take a taxpayer's dollar would be if I went into politics or something along those lines like that. That would be the only way that I would go into. What are you doing? Come here. Come here. Look who's here. Look who's here. Who's that? Oh, you're gonna run away? Who's that? Oh, he sees Piper coming. Here, who's that? Oh. Well, no happy ending and a 52-year-old retirement and paycheck for life. What, you got morals? Yeah, I got morals. No, I really don't, but I just can't do it. Do I think Doug Ford will get reelected? F no.
No.
F no. Hell no. Not only F no, hell no. That man will never see the inside of the political forum again. Dougie's done. His brother Rob is rolling over in his grave. But Dougie's done. Why do you think he did what he did with Bill 100 last night? And like I said, you watch what else is coming down the pipe, because he's going to be doing some more sneaky shit before he's going out, and he knows he's going out, and he's going to assist the liberals on his way out the door. And what's funny is, and Dara and I were talking about this earlier, you guys remember when COVID first hit? Ford was on it. He really was. Advocate. He was out there helping. Like physically, he was out there helping. He was assisting the people, assisting the businesses, helping, doing all of the shit. He was doing everything right. He actually, I had a lot of respect for what he was doing. And then what happened? What happened? All of a sudden, like, he just switched. It's almost as if 6 months in, he's working like a dog to help the people and represent the people and make sure his people are okay. And then 6 months and 1 day later, Trudeau phoned him and said, hey, Doug, psst, if you want your province to keep getting its federal money, you're going to do this. Oh, and if your hospitals want this, then you're going to do this.
I think that's what happened.
And I guarantee you that's what happened. Dara says she thinks that's what happened. I'm guarantee you that's what happened. Trudy called Dougie and said, unless you play ball with us, you're fucked. And your province will be fucked. And he sold out. He did. Brian, just write Wheelburner Express Encyclopedia and you'll be set. Okay. I'm still working on that. I'm going to write my memoirs right after that as well. That lonely, angry blue dude again preaching the choir. Hey, Doug, my crack is the best. Hey, Doug. I don't know if Dougie's on the crack like Rob was, but uncomfortable if your crack's that good. I'll send Dara up. She can get on your crack. Deal with the devil. I think he did. That's exactly what he did. I almost feel that that Dougie is sitting at home going, Jesus Christ, what did I do? I had to do it. I'm sorry. He probably has remorse. Trudeau has no remorse. Trudeau has no ill feelings or no, he doesn't feel bad. He has nothing. I have a sense that Doug does. His back was to the wall and he had no choice. And it was either do what Trudeau or the federal government wanted or the whole province would take a shit kicking.
Oh, I forgot about that when he did his cheesecake recipe.
True, Brian. No more cheesecake for Dougie. And they all sold their soul. Yeah, they did. It's not just Canada, bro. It's every free country in the world. Under the cover of COVID, all election worldwide was rigged. Kind of funny, though. How many elections have gone on in the last year and a half? And for some reason, it's been very, very quiet, right? The results are always announced in whatever country or whatever area of the country, of the world that the election is. But what happens, whether it's been rigged or if it was on, nobody fucking knows anymore. Nobody knows anymore. I can tell you this, though. I can tell you this, and I guarantee you this. The provincial election for Ford's job is going to be highly scrutinized and very closely watched. I doubt it'll be possible to even hack that or to fix that. But the next federal election, oh, that's going to be a shit show. That is going to be an absolute shit show of security, of everything like that. Bribe money is the root of all evil. Turd is bought. Yeah, the turd is bought. Wow, you guys are ruthless. I thought I was bad, man. You guys are off the hook. Trudeau has charcoal for a heart. I don't think he has a heart. Ford lost touch with the Lord. Well, turd is bought too. Bribe money is the root of all evil. Trudeau was installed. That's right, Deb. Election over the last 3 years. Both of his daughters are not vaccinated and his son-in-law got fired from the police department. Look it up. Who's that, Trudeau or Ford's?
No, Ford.
Ford?
Yeah, I followed them.
Both his daughters are not vaccinated and his son-in-law got fired from the police department. Yeah.
Here, Robert wants me to throw in your mouth. Oh, I missed.
Really? Trudeau's heart is made of leather. No, no, it's made of shit. We are in a spiritual war.
Yes.
I don't know. If anybody out there has an answer for that, we're in a spiritual war. If any of you can get God on the line, on the phone, get him to fix this, we'd all appreciate it. I don't have that number. Thanks, Zach. I am way too far down the totem pole to even think about something like that. Savannah, keep going. You're doing great. Well, guys, I'm out of chocolate.
I have some, but you're not having it.
No.
No.
We all need to get right with the Lord, the good Lord, that's for sure. Yeah. You know what, Fringe? I'm with you. I feel like I need a good steak. I need to get right with a good steak. Turd is owing to his friends, the Chinese. Yeah. He sold us out. He has sold us out. We are already bought, paid for, and resold. God's country steak. I want some Alberta beef. We're gonna go out. I'm going to go out to Alberta.
I'm going out to Alberta.
Dar's going out to Alberta in a couple of weeks. 1 week. I'm gonna get her to stop in Brooks, Alberta, and pick up some Canadian grade A beef. Best steak in the world, man. Best beef in the world. Clifton wanted a steak tonight. Didn't make it before they closed. Had to settle for KFC. 16 pieces for $58. Cliff, are you out of your mind, boy? Manitoba beef is good, but it ain't that good. Small Fringe. Alberta beef is the best Canada has. It is excellent. It's on the world stage of beef. Our cattle and our beef out of Alberta is second, in my opinion, second to none. It'll hold with anybody, even Kansas City. There was a good turnout. Ooh, hold on. I want to hear that.
In Niagara Falls.
There was a good turnout in Niagara Falls tonight. That's good.
I've been following all.
Yeah. Dar's following it. You've never tried it. You probably had, if you live in Canada, you probably had it and didn't even know you had it. It is excellent. $58 for 16 pieces of chicken. Holy crap, man. Remember going to KFC and getting they don't have them anymore. They used to call them the snack boxes. Remember those? You used to get like 2 pieces of chicken, fries, and gravy and a drink, and it would be like $3.95.
Yeah.
At school, from school when we were in high school. Go over, get the snack box. You could go over with a $5. Remember, you go over to KFC with a $5, walk in and get a snack box and come out with change. And then 2 or 3 of you should take your change and go get a pack of smokes. Jesus. Now it's $58. Holy shit. Shick. Okay, guys, going to bed. All right, Fringe, see you later. Good night.
Nothing tastes the same anymore.
Yeah. Don't taste the same either. You know what? You're right. KFC doesn't taste the same. What did we have? I hate to say this. This is actually embarrassing, but I'll admit this. I was craving a McDonald's Big Mac yesterday, and I didn't go get it. Instead, I went to, where'd we go? Wendy's. Big mistake. Nothing tastes the same. Nothing tastes the same as when we were kids. Big Macs don't taste the same. I think the only fast food out there that tastes the same is probably Harvey's. I think.
Yeah, but it's made so much smaller now.
Yeah. Ontario moose steaks are top shelf on the barbecue. Hey, Don, I'll take your word on that. I've had moose, but I have not had enough of it to be able to determine good moose from bad, a good moose steak from a bad moose steak. I couldn't tell you. Government-made KFC, stop using lard. It's all canola oil now. Oh, well, at least it's healthier.
Is it?
Canola's healthier. The pieces of chicken at KFC, now they're half the size and double the price. Yeah. But have you ever walked into the grocery store and seen some of the pieces of the chicken breasts? They're this fucking big. I want to see the chicken that chicken breast came off of. What? You telling me that these chickens aren't pumped with steroids and whatever and shit? I saw a chicken breast, like, we're talking 10, 11 ounce chicken breast. I don't want to see the chicken that came off of. Yeah. Oh. December, I don't want to know. If you know, keep that to yourself, please. I don't want to know. Make your own KFC. It's way cheaper. Yeah, we can do that. Actually, I know how to make that kind of stuff here. Can't wait to see what the police will do if people protest. I'm very, very curious. That is something I am going to be watching very carefully. I would really like to see where the boundary is. I really want the protesters to be as peaceful. I would like them to be peaceful, and I don't want there to be a problem.
They're not calling it a protest.
No? What are they calling it?
Like a gathering. It's
just
like
a gathering?
It's just like a
Yeah.
rally.
I really would like to see, but I do want to see where that line is. I want to see where this gathering, because it doesn't matter. They don't have to be called a protest. As from what I understand, Bill 100, you know,
Whatever they deem it to be.
yeah, it can be anything. It could be four old codgers sitting on four lawn chairs playing euchre. But if they're doing it in a way that they don't seem right, they can all get thrown in jail. And they can use this Bill 100 to do it. Define self-defense. Self-defense, get inside my bubble. Come inside my bubble and I'll define it for you. The hard way. Read the bill. Is it? Read the bill. Is it? It is any. Sorry, I can't understand what the hell that says.
Is any gathering like us right now?
Oh.
What are you saying?
Read the bill. Is it any gathering like us? Yeah, actually, they're gonna come after us. We are what, a fringe minority on YouTube. All of you, just so you know, whatever jurisdiction you live in, the police will be there in 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, everybody run. Gathering. Thanks, Dar figured it out. If don't like you, you're going to jail because you have a Canadian shirt.
Wait till they see my shirt.
Yeah, that's pretty much the truth. That's pretty much the truth. Andre, you don't have to retract your statement. Start the fringe party, I'll vote for you. You know what? I don't know what. I don't think I'd do well in government. I would and I wouldn't. I think I would not do well because I have a bit of a temper and I wouldn't be able to say. I would say what's on my mind instead of allowing the second thought in my head to be the first one to come out of my mouth. I'd allow the first one to come out, and that would piss off way too many people, and too many people would get, but I guarantee you we can motivate some people to get some shit done. I can tell you that. Brian, what's your favorite alcohol? I don't drink. I haven't had a drink in almost 30 years, 29 years. I've been clean and sober. But when I was drinking, my favorite alcohol was Jim Beam. Give me a 40-ounce bottle of Jim Beam in a glass, no ice, no mix, and fuck off and leave me alone. Profane, thanks. You would be honest, and that's what Canada needs. Yeah, we need people a little smarter than me. Both accessible. Everything with the government and laws is in the wording. Read the bill. They use the word bill. They would use Bill 100 on you. Bill 100 is a big blanket. They can use that on a lot of shit. You don't have to be protesting. All you got to be doing is something in public that they don't like. Men in black all over the place after Bill 100. Yes, sir. Taking orders, Dar. Uncomfortable with taking orders?
For what?
I don't know. Common sense people is what we need. It's not rocket science. No, it's not rocket science. It isn't. Unfortunately, we do need some people with brains. We need some educated people. We need people with common sense, and we do need some money. Tell you what, you guys put together, $3, $4, $5 million for a campaign. I'll take a run at it. So that bill makes it where they can just about, Debbie, pretty much. And not only can they arrest you, but they can take your personal property. Like, for example, they can take your car. If you went to the protest in the car, they can take your car. They can take anything else you want. That's pretty well like North Korea. Can't talk about your government. Well, that day's probably coming.
I'm just touching myself.
Dar's sitting there, she's got her top up and her out, almost out, and she's, how am I supposed to do this and look at that? Can we fly a flag on July 1st or will we get arrested? Give it a try and film it. We want to see, and send it to me. I want to see. In Vancouver, Bill Gates had TED Talks and a large group of protesters chanted, "Arrest Gates." Oh, you're one of them, eh, Dar?
Because I like sauerkraut.
Yeah. They better have a whole lot of bracelets at the border tomorrow. Make smaller and charge more. I'll make you uncomfortable. We'll Burner Express. Dar was scratching an itch. Yeah, okay. Scratching an itch. Oh, guys. Too many rules came out after Trump. There's too many rules coming out now. What do you mean after Trump? Every 9 minutes in this country, a new rule or a new law is being proposed and then being pushed and then being made into law. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, hold on. There was something else Dar wanted to talk about. What is he want to? Oh, Elon.
Oh yeah, about how he wants to buy Twitter.
He's gonna buy Twitter. He's gonna buy Twitter. So I guess the story was he bought, what was it, 9%, right?
Yeah.
He bought 9% share of Twitter. And talk about a smart guy. Okay. He basically wanted a platform that he could say whatever he wanted to and not be silenced or not be whatever. So he buys 9% of Twitter. They offer him a position on the board, and he very wisely turns it down, because if he turns it down, he can only have upwards of 15% ownership, so 15% stake, if he's on the board. He turns it down and says, no, I don't think so. I'm too busy. I don't want to do this. Knowing full well that a week later he's going to turn around and he's going to buy it. Or offer to buy it. And he's going to, come on, he's going to get it. Smart guy. He's now going to have a platform that he can pretty much say whatever he wants. And nobody can censor him. Love it. Absolutely love it. Elon, how about buying some YouTube? Musk is trying a takeover. Well, he's taken over a lot of shit, believe me. Mr. Bees has a good point. All of these new laws are being put into place by the New World Order. Yes, it was after they got rid of Trump. Donald Charles was every day on the U2. Yeah. If they refuse Elon's offer, he has enough shares to totally tank the company. He does. I don't know if he would or not. I know that if he buys the company, the first thing he's doing is giving Trump his platform back. Trump isn't the answer, but maybe the lesser of the two evils. Well, that falls along the same lines as what I said earlier. You don't pick the one you like the most, you pick the one you dislike the least. There you go. And the left will try everything to stop Musk from buying Twitter. I don't think so. I think they'll try, but I don't think they'll succeed.
They can't stop him.
They can't stop him. Come on. He can't stop him.
Too rich.
Yeah. This is one of those things where he's actually too rich. M. Smith. M. Smith. Did we ever find out M. Smith's first name?
Mary.
Is it Mary? I thought so. I wasn't sure. We were going to sit here and play the game. Is it Mary, Marianne, Madeline, Marcy, Marisol, Murder Smith. Sandra, give me. Sandra, give you what?
Oh, she wrote something about.
He could give you money for your own shop? Oh, lady, he's got enough money, he could give every single one of us enough money for our own shops.
Do a shout out to all the real names. So Robin, Sandra.
All the real names?
Yeah.
What are real names?
Well, some people don't have real names. Like, I'll make you uncomfortable. His name is Robin. But he's not Robin.
Yeah.
So he's shouting out to all people that have their real names.
Do a shout. Oh, okay, I get it. Sorry, I'm not too bright today. Not feeling it. Do a shout out for all the real names.
To a lot of people.
Yeah, there's too many people. They got rid of the Pakistani prime minister because he talked back to the USA government. Who was he talking to? He obviously wasn't talking to Biden. That idiot couldn't talk his way out of a wet paper bag right now. If there was ever a poster boy for this is what happens if you do too much crystal meth, look at Biden. God, that guy's looking like such a burnt out drug addict. He talks like one. Elon wants to, Pinky is not the genius. Elon wants to rename Twitter to Titter. I wouldn't doubt it. Elon put his FU money to work. Oh, did he ever? Pakistan, be lucky if they don't end up in a civil war. It's just bad there now. Dude, I don't know if you've noticed, Ted, but most countries over in that part of the country, in that part of the world, they're all having wars. None of them are in great shape. He probably does everything ranging from weed to DMT. There's a new one. Jacob, what is DMT? Somebody tell me, please.
It's a drug, dude.
I know it's a drug, but, well, I'm assuming it's a drug, but what is it? Elon is with Trump on what's going on. Elon is on Truth Social. The West caused the wars there. Dimethyl tripop. Yeah, okay, fuck Ted. I'm not going to say that, but thanks. It's a psychedelic drug. I didn't do well with psychedelics. Never did well with psychedelics. The love drug. No. Cocaine and heroin, Jim Beam, and a nice bag of weed. that was a typical Friday night at our place. Elon wants to remove the kid that is tracking his plane movement. At this point right now, Elon could probably remove anything or anybody he wants to. Purple microdot, yeah. Back then, well, purple microdot, we called them double barrel purples. Same thing. They were the same thing. Loved them for a while. Until I was drag racing. I had a Z24 Cavalier. I was drag racing in Ostrich up the 401 between Dixie Road and Mississauga Road and Dixie Road. And the goddamn ostrich beat me. You could be on LSD. Yeah. Biden is the wet paper bag. Hey, that's a really good point. He really is. It's not that he couldn't get out of it. He is it. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm out of chocolate. I'm not opening another bubbly. Weed and Gibson's finest. Yeah, I hear you. We're at about 2 hours here, and our batteries are dying because we don't have a river out back to put our power generator in. Middle East countries are only at war when the U.S. is involved. Don, that's a good point. I think, though, that some of the Middle East countries have been warring before the U.S. got involved. But it is a good point. There are a lot more going on now that the U.S. is involved. Anyway, you know what, guys? I'm going to sign off here. My brain is done tonight. I don't know what it is. I've just had trouble following along. I've just not been. I don't think I've been as useful to you tonight as I usually am. So I'm going to call it a night. We're 2 hours here, and. Yeah, we got to get up early tomorrow. We're going to the families for we're doing our Easter dinner tomorrow. Are you on also tomorrow? No, we're going to be doing we're doing our Easter tomorrow, so we're going to be out of town. So, but if you want to do one, feel free, knock yourself out. Well, I'll tune into yours. I can do that while I'm driving down the highway. Anyway, you guys have a good night. Keep chatting amongst yourselves. Nobody fight, please. They are frying your brain slowly. My brain has been fried for many a years. Believe me, I've forgotten more shit than most people know. So, anyway, later. We're 2 hours in. Time to go to bed. Time to have a good night. You guys be safe. We'll see you down the road.